Hello everyone. Self-Discovery with Canon of Changes course, Session 0, Introduction. The course is the result of a personal quest and the corresponding knowledge and experience gained in an attempt to determine, study, and put into practice some kind of universal system or several systems that most fully and accurately describe all possible aspects of human consciousness and being, its principles of internal functioning and external interaction with tangible and intangible realms of existence. In a number of existing similar systems, such as Tarot and others, the ancient Chinese book of Canon of Changes makes its unique contribution to the world civilizational treasury of such worldview systems. As you know, the Canon of Changes consists of a set of 64 signs, where each sign, in turn, is represented by a unique set of 6 horizontal lines, and these lines are only of 2 types, solid and entrapted. Each sign describes one or another universal situation or process, and each of the lines of the sign sequentially displays the development phases of this situation, and all 64 signs together represent the full ever possible set in the life or mind of a person. The system presents a multi-level inner math, or a set of rules by which numerous commentators of the canon interpret the original, quite short text that characterizes each sign. For example, 2 groups of 3 lines, 3 groups of 2 lines, the correspondence of the line type to its location within the sign, as well as some other considerations can be used. Another feature of the system is that for thousands of years, the canon was used for 2 main tasks: for divination and as a source of philosophical and any other cognitive thought, as well as inspiration in art and literature. We on the course will not study the canon in its classical form with all its complex system of interpretation, as well as its divinatory function will also be omitted. We will try to penetrate from the inside into each of the signs using a meditative approach and extract from it some personified knowledge and experience that we sometimes unconsciously are looking for and are able to perceive. To do this, and this is how the structure of each lesson will look like, we will get acquainted with a certain set of meanings associated with a given sign, presented in the form of either the source text for the sign or comments to it. The book of 3 famous translators of the Canon of Changes were used in the preparation of this course: Shotsky, Winogrodsky, and Pearson. Then, in the second part of each session, there will be an individual meditation on the excerpts from the text presented earlier, and in the final part of the lesson, participants will share images, thoughts, and experiences obtained during the meditation. Thus, the goal of the course, as its name implies, will be the refraction of the individual understanding of things into the ancient wisdom of the canon through personal, internal, cognitive, and contemplative activities, followed by the transformation of that understanding. It makes sense now to dwell a little more on the method of meditation, which will be our main tool for self-discovery in this course. Sensual, or in other words, irrational cognition or awareness not only exists, despite our historically established illiteracy in this matter, but also plays an equally and sometimes even more important role in the full functioning and development of our human being, in comparison with such a popular, everywhere and always applied, and quite well studied mental, logical, or rational cognition. Without going into details on this type of cognition functioning principles, however, the practical application of this meditation should be explained. Imagine some phrase, the depths of thought, or the image of which inexplicably or quite consciously hooked you. This phrase or image, or just a thought, is the initial target over which an individual meditative action takes place. How exactly? The meditator, concentrating on the target in its entirety or on some parts of that target, considers them from different angles of view. Moreover, this process of contemplation, at the beginning quite mechanistic and forcibly initiated by the meditator, with a certain skill ideally becomes passive contemplative, and the target itself begins to show its properties, stories, and nature to the meditator. Actually, these stories are the desired result of the meditations, and together with the quiet skill of proper usage of this type of meditation, are the desired result of the course itself. The first part of the lesson is almost completed. We can devote a few minutes to questions and answers on the material covered, if any.